The sexiest podcast on the network. Did my mouse battery just die? There
Might have.
The sexiest podcast on the network with still a shitty mouse, Brian. Still a shitty mouse. I'll
allow it.
I won't.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to. You can't really do much about it, can you?
Right. You're right. Now, see, I posted this on Facebook. Did it actually show up?
Yeah.
That I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
All right. Hi, Brian. Happy Monday, my guy.
Yeah, it's Monday. That's true. Yep. Oh, this is going to sound weird. So, I'm a fan of the gimmicks when it comes to like the beverages out there and whatnot, right? So Pepsi has this Nitro Pepsi.
I'm familiar.
Right. Okay. So I got a vanilla one here. I had a regular one yesterday. I have a vanilla one here, so I have to. So when I crack it, it's not going to just be like a normal, because it's going to have that.
Have you partaken in it yet?
Not in the vanilla, the regular.
See, I have a. It's funny. It's funny, Brian. I have a vanilla and a regular in my fridge right now that I've been saving because I was going to make a little something for our podcast.
Oh, funny.
How funny is that?
Yeah.
Because my son told me about him, that he's been looking for them, and I happened to see the vanilla ones at Kroger, so I picked up a 4-pack for him. And like Michelle, she's digging on it, but she's never had a nitro draft beverage before. So
okay, interesting. Because like I said, I had the regular Pepsi last night, and I don't know, wasn't that impressed.
Okay, fair enough.
Here's the ups to it is it's like super creamy
as you get the nitro.
So it's super smooth and creamy. There's not a lot of like carbonation. Well, there is, but the bubbles are smaller. That's why it's smoother. But the only problem I have is that once you get past like the head of it, it tastes to me almost kind of like a flat Pepsi. It didn't really. Like at that point, I'm kind of like, okay, once the head's gone, now what?
That's exactly what she said about the regular.
So, okay, and I'm about to have a vanilla one here. Now, see, that's a little different because the vanilla flavoring in the drink with that, creaminess in the, of the head of it is actually kind of nice. It's almost, it's almost I don't want to. It's not like a milkshake. It's not that it's not that thick.
Eek.
But yuck. But I don't know. I think I don't really know what kind of the gimmick to it is. Is like I said, it's like kind of like once the head of it's gone, it's just kind of like okay, it's just like drinking a Pepsi.
Yeah, but I mean,
or a vanilla.
It is the gimmick though, right? I mean, that's what it's all about.
But the problem is that the gimmick goes away pretty fast. Is the problem?
Fair enough.
So like I said, I mean, it's going to disappear probably on screen.
I'm on their.
But can you see like where I'm at? Like it's almost gone already.
I'm on Pepsi's website right now.
Yeah, I see that.
And they have a how to pour section, which if you've never poured a Guinness, I get it. Because,
right.
I was like, allow me to pour this for you. I will show you. Although, I'll be honest, Brian, it brought up sad feelings for me. It did. Because if you recall, one of our pal T's favorite gimmicks was to watch the Nitro beers clear. And that's all I could think about when I was pouring that Nitro Pepsi.
That's right. I didn't even think about that.
They do
You're
have
right.
Recipes, though. I'm curious of what sort of recipes they have here.
See, that was where I was going to go next. I was going to say the only thing I could really think of was, like when I had the Pepsi yesterday, I was like, this would be interesting if you did that and then dropped like some vanilla ice cream in it, or something like that. Like I thought it would be, interesting with the smoothness of that and the ice cream would be kind of.
Here's what we got going on Pepsi. You got the Draft Espresso Martini. So you have, vanilla draft and espresso together. You got the ice cream float. Okay. The Pepsi Cherry Vanilla. Use muddled cherries, lime juice, and simple syrup.
Right.
And that's it. That's all they got going. That's the gimmicks they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am honestly surprised that no one has done this before with a soda.
See, yes, that was why, because like you said, we've had plenty of beers, like cream ales and stuff that are fantastic.
I will punch a baby in the face for a really good nitro stout. Yeah,
for sure.
Repeatedly, ground and pound. I know.
I've seen you do it. It's.
I will flip your stroller over.
If there wasn't a delicious beer in front of me, I would have pulled you off. But
what are you gonna do?
I mean, I had beer. Yeah. I'm with you on that. And I think the flavored sodas are probably the better place for this, more so than a regular. Because the first pop I was thinking yesterday, I was like, oh, I bet this would be really good as a Dr. Pepper.
My brain.
Or even like the cherry.
Faygo Rock and Rye.
Mountain Dew.
Oh my God, Nitro Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah, that would be strong.
I mean,
terrible.
I would love to eventually have a Nitro tap set up in my future kegerator.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be opposed to getting our hands on some like soda fixins.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I think there's
some stuff in the future.
I think there's some that I think it would be really good with. Like orange creamsicle ones, and
right,
or not orange cream, but even just orange or cherry sodas. Like you said, Rock and Rye would probably be smooth and everything. But
because I mean, like I'm Founders, right? They got that Rubaeus, that really raspberry beer.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm not a huge fan, but it's all right. But Nitro Rubaeus, that shit's like dessert.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I imagine so.
Yeah, it's very strange. Oh God, he vanished. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, no worries. I'm back.
Okay.
I spilled some of my drink on my notebook here.
Oh no! Well, thank God it's got little bubbles.
Yeah. I was just checking to make sure I didn't also hit my keyboard.
Yeah, that'd be a problem. Suddenly just sparks are flying.
Yeah, the notebook's no big deal. I can replace that easily.
I mean, keyboards are pretty replaceable too, to be fair.
Yeah. This is a nice keyboard.
Yeah, all right.
So
I'll trade you. You can have this one that I spent like $15 on.
No, I'm all right.
Looks like it's more than a $15 note.
It does, because it's to a mimic of an Apple keyboard. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at the keyboard except the one shift key that doesn't work really.
Pretty mad at it.
I'm super mad at
that. Just that one key.
Fuck that shift key, am I right?
I hate you.
God, you know what I didn't do was turn my little fan on.
Oh man,
it's all the way over there and it's unplugged, mocking me.
Wow, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
I mean, you could just take care of the problem.
Nah, it's all the way over there and we're live. Whatever.
Just gonna melt while we're talking.
Right.
That'll be cool.
Do it live.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
All right, fair enough.
So, do you approve then of the vanilla? Because I know you said the regular was kind of meh.
Yeah, I mean, taste-wise, it's fine, and I really like the first taste. Like when you get where it's like super, creamy and everything. I don't know, like, I don't know. Like I said, once that kind of goes away, it's like it does. I mean, it drinks smoother than the other, but like I said, there's also like you don't feel like it. Maybe it's just because I'm used to like carbonation,
right?
And it's there, but it's finer, so it doesn't. There's no like bite to the carbonation.
You know what I wonder?
I guess.
You remember those little like Guinness plates that you put your glass on it, like simulates the draft pour. I wonder if that would work on this.
I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Curious.
Yeah, very curious. Yeah, I had been seeing commercials for it for a while, and I kept looking at the stores, and never saw any until I was at Food Town, actually, is where I saw it first.
Right.
They had just got it in that day,
Like,
so I
yes,
grabbed.
please.
They had single, like tall boys of it. So
yeah, I was looking for the singles. I had to buy a 4-pack of the vanilla, and then
yeah,
we found
Kroger's
2
got
singles of the regulars.
Yeah. It looks like Kroger must have just gotten it in because they had quite a bit of it in today because they had a bunch of that in the Coke. Was that Starlight or whatever they call it? The one I talked about.
I got one of those in the fridge too.
Yeah. Well, Coke's got another one, I guess, out too that's supposed to taste like pixels.
What?
They say. I think they're just going too far now.
Hold on.
They're just making shit up at this point.
Coke Pixel, I'm gonna assume.
Yeah. The ones that are supposed to taste, the Starlight or whatever, is supposed to taste like space. Like whatever that flavor is supposed to be.
Space.
Which I don't know how true that is, but because I've never tasted space, so
you haven't lived to taste space.
My first chance, I'm gonna that's the first thing I'll do is once I'm in space, take my helmet off and get a big taste of it.
Big old taste of space. You
Yep.
fucking look like Arnold in Total Recall.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's see here. Coca-Cola gaming inspired Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Okay. First off, I dig the can.
Yeah, the can's
cool. Dope.
Yeah. Very pixelated, as you can see now if you're watching us live.
Yeah,
Byte,
I really like the can, but I don't know what the fuck it could possibly even taste like.
Boy, I'll tell you what, they're really setting themselves up if it's not good.
Yeah, right.
Because how many people are going to be like, it bites,
Yeah. Boy, there's all kinds. They're just out there selling NFTs and stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, Coke. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you feel like the people are just kind of jumping the shark? I saw a TikTok the other day when someone had a Flamin Hot Mountain Dew or something.
that feels like something they would have released in like Japan, because like they've had like Doritos flavored Mountain Dew in Japan before,
right?
Or something like that, or Pepsi flavored. I don't remember what it was. It was or Pepsi flavored Doritos, or it was. They have these weird ass crossovers, but so.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bite is a real thing. It's not okay. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like an in-game, because I saw something about it having to do with the metaverse.
I was hoping to go to MountainDew.com, and I'm on Mountain Dew's fucking wiki.
Well, we used that once before when we
that's true. Yeah, Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot is sweet and spicy citrus flavor. So if you're into that.
If I see one, I'll grab one, because I try pretty much every Mountain Dew that I see.
You just can't help yourself.
I just do it for shits.
I mean, I get it.
But yeah, it was late 2021 it said, so I doubt I'll ever see one.
True.
Unless they bring it back, because a lot of these flavors they do for 1 year.
The Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot's new.
Oh, that one just said August of 2021 on there.
Oh,
on the page we're just on. So
am I a special boy, Brian?
No, maybe not. Maybe it could be.
You know what?
Maybe
I think I'm a special boy. You're right. It does say August 2021.
Oh, okay.
See, when I was Googling it, it popped up 2022, so I just clicked on that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, both could be true. You could be a special boy, and it could still be out there.
Yes. Yes to both.
Yeah.
Speaking of being a special boy, I'm gonna make myself a little treat, Brian.
Yeah.
I was like,
is it a Nitro Pepsi?
No. I finished off this delicious beer I had. It was I don't know if you've ever had a smoothie sour. It's like a thick soured beer. It's really good. They're delicious.
No, because I'll try a sour, but I still have not found one that I'm a big fan of.
You might like that because it's not super tart, but it is like drinking a smoothie. It's weird. I don't know if you could see the stuff stuck to the glass. I don't know, whatever.
Oh wow, yeah, that's weird.
But they are tasty. But due to some dump truck driver being an absolute toolbox, at about 10 o'clock this morning, I just went to break. I just sat down. I put my earbuds in. Bought myself some chapstick because my lips were shredded and I forgot my chapstick.
And yeah, and for those who don't know, Tony likes to spend his breaks just putting chapstick on.
Dude, it's nothing but my neighbor's favorite song. No joke. The guy who's always yelling at his girlfriend and he's got a giant truck listens to Goodbye Horses all the time because you can hear it. He jams it so loud.
That's
but yeah,
funny.
just Goodbye Horses and chapstick. I stare in the mirror for 30 minutes and I go back to work.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
I'd fuck me. Yeah.
But no, this so I just sat down, I put my earbuds in my ear, and then all the lights go out.
Oh, bong.
Right.
Bong. Undertaker? Were you at Under Tacos?
A nice callback.
Yeah.
So yeah, some dude, they're putting in a parking lot next door to us.
Yeah.
Just smoked the light pole.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, smoked it. So I got sent home early today.
Yeah.
And I'm actually not working tomorrow. That's how bad it is.
Really? Wow.
But now I got to work Friday and Saturday, which sucks. But or like 10 hours Friday. Normally I work 6.
Yeah. But Saturday, though.
Saturday, 8 hours Saturday, bro. That's going to suck.
Ooh, yeah.
But what that does allow me is, since I'm not working tomorrow, is on National Health Day, which was last Friday, my work also gave us little bags of snacks.
Yeah.
And they had out these giant bowls, right? Full of oranges.
Okay.
So I grabbed several of them, and I'm making old fashions tonight.
Oh, okay.
So I got myself my sugar, my little bar spoon, some bitters.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this going. But anywho,
I was gonna say I ain't mad at that, but I kind of am, only because I can't also partake.
You're not here. I apologize.
Yeah, if I was there, I'd be like, hey, you know.
Like, normally I try to behave myself, but I'm like, I don't have to get up tomorrow. Shit.
Yeah. No reason to behave yourself.
Exactly. Got a little Knob Creek, 100 proof. So,
yeah.
Rock and rolling here.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though, man. I feel like getting
on a school
early because the lights are out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't have stuff up in the air when I was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we talking about? I got focused on drinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, we really hadn't. I mean, I started off with the Pepsi thing, and then we did the others, and you're into this. We really haven't even done the how's your week been kind of thing, or just kind of anything. Bullshit. Yeah.
Which I'm not mad at. I'll be honest.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my week's been, pretty boring. Pretty typical week for me. Not a whole lot went on.
Not a whole lot doing, huh?
Finally got to therapy, which was nice.
Right.
That, that's always a nice reset. Got to talking about other things, and once again, didn't so much talk about the ADHD evaluation.
Really?
So that's got to wait another 3 weeks until I go back. So, yeah.
That's kind of annoying, isn't it?
That's my fault, though. I should have, from the beginning, been like, all right, let's do this, and then everything else after. But
I mean, fair enough.
Well, I hadn't been there since December, so a decent amount of things have happened since then.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but went to the store today, and man, right as I get out of the car, I hear this guy yell something, and I turn around and look, further down the parking lot, and I see there's a car right by him, and he's just yelling. I couldn't tell what he said at first, and then I hear someone else say something, and then he flips them off. They say something else, and then I hear him go, "Why don't you come back here and say that to my fucking face, you coward," and starts walking toward the car.
Oh boy.
And I'm thinking, oh my. And I hear more yelling and stuff, and I'm standing there I couldn't see it anymore. And and I can keep hearing him as I'm walking toward the front of the store. And I'm like, yeah, if there's a security guard up front, I'm going to be like, hey, you might have a situation out there.
There's something brewing, buddy.
But it seemed to quiet down before I got in the store. And also there was no security guard around. So, but yeah, I don't know. I can only assume that what happened was the guy was pushing his cart and the car either like, nearly hit him or,
Right.
Something to that effect.
Can't people just behave?
Apparently not.
That's all I ask in this world. Just behave.
Yeah. And the worst part is it wasn't raining at that point, but it was, it was a little drizzle out there. It was like, if the car could just wait a second, this poor, you're walking all the way up to the store. It's like, just, maybe let the pedestrian get out of the way.
Nah. Man, fuck that pedestrian.
Who knows? Maybe he cut them off. I don't know. Probably not, because it's a parking lot, so odds are it was somebody probably driving through parking spots.
I hate that
something
shit,
to that effect. Yeah. So I don't know. I was just kind of like, oh my, at first, like, excuse me, like, what's going on over there? That's the second time in the last few months that something like that's happened. One other time was somebody blew through a stoplight, and these people were walking up, and they luckily, I mean, they're crossing at the crosswalk area,
right?
And you're supposed to stop if there's people there. And this car just blew right through the stop sign. This woman just starts screaming at the guy in the truck, and then you see the brake lights hit, and then her husband walks up, and her husband are just yelling at this dude in the truck, and this guy starts yelling back, and I'm like, why would you stop? Why wouldn't you just keep going?
Well, I mean, he was offended, clearly, that someone yelled at him.
Yeah, that's the part I never get. You're in a vehicle, they're on foot, just go.
Yeah.
Odds are they're just going to go in the store at that point and it's over, but instead so many people want to stop and, like today when that guy was like, why don't you come back here? If they just drove off, that's the end of it. There's no more, because he's not going to all of a sudden be able to, unless there was something in that card I didn't see that gives it like, powers to where it's like super fast like a car or something.
I mean, that would be dope.
Yeah,
Well, what if when he yelled, why don't you come back here, and they just threw it in reverse and just plowed him?
Yeah. Well, that was
like maximum overdrive.
I think it was a woman in the car, but I don't know for sure, of course. I'm assuming from voice I heard, but you never know, But I was like, because in my head I'm like, if that is a woman, like, what's gonna what is his plan there? What is he gonna do?
Gonna beat the fuck out of her.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the dude looked a little, like shaky. So
he's like, I hit the women I love. I don't even know you.
Yeah, right. I was just like, oh my, this is So that's been about the height of my excitement over the last week.
I mean, that's pretty exciting right there.
Other than I finally got back to, playing a little bit of games again this week. Nice. And listening to podcasts and stuff, which I'd kind of set on the back burner because I've been spending more time in the living room, like, with my mom and stuff because of losing Jim and whatnot. But I was like, I need to do these things for myself because I'm, it's something I enjoy and I don't do a lot. So
I mean, here's an idea for you, Brian. Get some couch co-op games. So like, let's go, Mom. Grab this controller. Let's go.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the vertigo type issues she has, she probably would have tried games a long time ago.
Right.
Because she's been curious, and she'll ask me sometimes, like, she watches and how do you know what to do here, and I'll be like, well, I've been playing games for like 40 years, so you just kind of know. There's certain types of games, right? Like, you can just pick up the game and you're just like, okay, this probably does this. Right. Like if it's a shooter, one of the triggers is probably fire, one's like that ADS, kind of stuff.
One's grenade.
Yeah, exactly. You even if you don't look at the control layout, you can probably figure it out pretty quick.
It'd be great if
you will
just watch you play Elden Ring, you just get murked and she's just like fucking casual and leaves the room. Like, whoa, I had no idea.
I mean, that would be accurate. Yeah, that would be accurate. I mean, I did the other night when we were gonna try to hop on and play. I played just a hair more of from what I did. I finally got my, like I said, as I've said, I've barely played the game, so I got my map thing and did a couple of, went over and got the whetstone knife, I think it is, and just dumb little shit. And then I was just trying to kill people for, to get some shards or whatever, or runes, I mean. And son of a bitch, if I didn't, I was getting real close to being able to level again, and I got killed. And when, so I go back to try to get my runes, got killed again. And I'm like, fuck, because I had 800 some runes, and now I'm down to like 100. I'm like, man.
From what I've, maybe people are sick of hearing us talk about this game, but I don't give a shit. But from what I've learned about that game, is at first it feels like a slog, and then you kind of like hit your groove. And
right.
Like, I've been like kind of like cruising through shit now.
Yeah.
Although I still I fought some today. I fought it 6 times. It killed me so fast, and I'm like, okay, I'll be back.
Well, it's like that area where the map piece is. Like you told me, you mentioned about how you can kind of just run in there, grab it, and run back out if you need to. And it's so hard for me to play that way because that's not how I'm used to playing everything.
And everything dies.
Yeah, I'm still learning even like I was like, okay, I'll just play stealthy and attack him from behind basically. But that's not always a great idea because like the one I did that, I thought he was by himself, and sure as shit, right around the corner is one of those assholes with a horn. So now I got like the whole town charging me, and I'm like, running away because I know I can't take all of them on.
Right.
If it was 1 or 2, I might be able to hold my own, but not like 7 of them, So I just scurried away, and then, they go back to their whatever. And I'm like, okay, time to regroup and try again here. And then I realized that the best way to do it, to go get like that knife, is literally, I just ran past the guys.
Yeah, you just run in, grab shit, and leave.
I just ran in, ran down, and then just fast traveled out. So I was like, okay, now I can reset and
it's like
whatever. So
last
like I said,
Tuesday, my kids came over for dinner, and it wasn't quite ready. And I'm like, you guys do whatever you want to do. And Logan's like, Michelle was playing Elden Ring at the time. He was kind of like giving her some hints, like, oh, here's a good place you can room farm. Here's how you do that, And she was done. And he's like, I'm just gonna start a new game just to see how far I can get before we eat dinner. I'm like, okay, do whatever you want to do. I'm working on dinner. In like 45 minutes, he beat the first like shard bearer because he knows like where to get all the stones to level the weapons up. He knows what weapon he wanted to get. He knows where to like do some easy rune grabs. And you just see this like shirtless samurai just running through shit and just picking shit up. And it was kind of fascinating to watch because they're like, I'm just like, oh yeah, you can play this game like that. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, what's funny is that I've gotten a lot of the combat better. Like, I'm getting a little better about blocking, / parry, but I'm not doing a lot of parrying right now because I'm so early level that it's not really worth it because you don't really, so I'm working more on blocking than anything. But with my dude and his bow and arrow, I just cannot seem to, like, when I go to equip it and then I always want to use like the right trigger to fire off an arrow or whatever. And every time the dude reaches back to like his quiver and there's like no arrows, but I have arrows. I have them equipped.
I've honestly never used the bow in the game, so I have no idea.
Yeah. And so it's like, I have to be doing something wrong. I have to be. So I need to ask, other people we know that have played, like Garrett and Jared and whatnot. And
they might just chime in tomorrow when they're listening to the program.
Yeah, which is fine. Because I absolutely have no idea. And it sucks because like one of the things I was doing, I see a guy at a distance and I'm like, oh, no worries. Just, boom, headshot, right? Because if I get the drop on somebody with my arrow, I can do quite a bit of damage, even though it's early. I can do quite a bit of damage. And, if I fire off another arrow, it'll kill them. Or if they come at me, basically just one hit with my sword will kill them, but when I went to do it, my guy's like, and then the guy turns and sees me and he starts charging me. And I'm like, oh, shit, now I got to, so which is no big deal. I just, quick swap to my sword and ended him pretty quick. But it was still like, damn it, I didn't get my chance to get the drop on the guy. And on just regular soldiers, it's no big deal. But if I'm fighting something bigger, this is going to be a big deal. I need to get sorted. Yeah, I need to get this sorted out. because I have regular arrows and then like flame arrows. The flame arrows do significantly more damage.
They fly in going, yes.
You know, yes. Well, no, it's like, you know how it is. Like with the sword, I have a special. I forgot what they're called, but the special attack. No, just the special attack. Type of.
It's like they call it Ashes of War, because you can get new ones and put different ones on your weapons and stuff.
Right, which I just did that the other night, because that was the first. You know, once you get that wet knife, you can, or whetstone knife, knife, the wet wipes.
Get the wet wipes. Wipe off the old old special move. Put a new one on.
Yeah, it's just ashes, right?
I mean,
nice and
I like
clean.
this thought process of this. I do.
Yeah. Anyway, but anyway, you know, so I played a little of that. I played a little GTA, because one thing I have an issue with now that I didn't used to have is if a game has any level of tension, like I feel it at a much higher level, so I can only play for so long, because if I don't stop, my like I can really like I've almost set myself into kind of like a panic attack. So, and the constant like sneaking around and, you know, being tense because I'm trying not to get killed by anything in the, you know, that moves in the game still is, you know, a problem for, and it's just a me thing.
I got a solution for you. Play the newest Doom game. You're just like an ultimate killing machine in it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I went with GTA, because I was like, you know, there's a lot more wiggle room in there.
Wiggle.
You know. You know.
Sorry.
So yeah, so I just played that for a little bit.
Yeah, I basically just played Elden Ring. I am back online though, if you want to play again.
All right.
We went to go play together the other night, and that morning I was playing online, and then when I logged in, when you and I were going to play, it's like your PlayStation Plus has expired. It's like I was just on earlier. Is it a year down to the fucking minute?
It must be. It must literally be.
I couldn't believe that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I was a little annoyed, and then I did go to CD Keys.
It's like, oh no, motherfucker! I'm not giving you, you know, like 3 hours for free.
Hell no. I did go to CD Keys, and I got a deal, but not as good as deal as you got, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool part, is usually going to that site, you usually get a good amount off, though, so, you know.
You know what's the reason I really pulled the trigger on it? Is the next morning I was like, oh, I'm going to play. I'm awake. It's a weekend. I'm like, I'm going to play some Elden Ring. And I'm so used to playing and having the helpful notes on the ground. It's like, secret here. Watch your right side. Watch left side.
That's right. Those aren't there when you're playing.
So I kept getting murked in dungeons and shit by like hidden dudes. And I'm like, I need the community to help me.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I use those like crazy too, because every time I see one, I pull it up real quick, because especially like when I was going to get that whetstone knife, you know, I'm going into like a cave kind of situation, and there was things right in front of the door, and I'm like, well, I'm for sure reading these, because I really expected to walk in and some asshole to like ambush me, and there isn't. But you know, I was very much like, oh, okay, no big deal here, but. Because they were just basically like, you know, something like, cool ahead. And I'm
precious item ahead or whatever.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, I mean, literally, you walk in the room, there's a giant chest in the room. I mean, I don't really think you needed to put that there, but, you know, so I didn't rate that one up.
Fair enough.
But because I'm like, nah. Like, you know, the ones that are really helpful sometimes is when you're in like some random ass area and there's one and you look at it and it's like, hey, watch out to the left or something like that. And you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I was going to just haphazardly head that way.
And those are ones that people love. When it's like I walked into a cave and all this poison and shit went off. So after I cleared it, and of course I died like the first time. Before I walked in the room, I made the note, caution or whatever, danger, poison ahead, and I get that one gets a praise. And if people praise your messages, you actually get health back. So
yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I really should get better about trying to laze. I think as I play the game more, I'm just too focused on what the hell I'm doing now. So
over the weekend, because I lost my PlayStation Plus, I was going to go on Twitch and PvP for the first time in it. But now I got, well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow because I don't have to work. Maybe.
Yeah, you could.
But yeah.
You could.
Yeah, I have not PvP'd in it yet.
We should go have a pint tomorrow. That's what you should do.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, because it's supposed to be really nice,
that's
too.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about that some other time. But Steve, our buddy Steve, says that I think he's referring to your Doom solution for me. Because he said that's a great solution.
Yes, right.
Well, I was trying to decide what to play the other night, and I almost threw Borderlands in because Borderlands also would be a great solution because it is literally just run and gun, you know. And I was talking with my nephew, and he's been playing Diablo again, and and I was like, I haven't played that in a while, and they have seasons in there, so you can get different armors and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, there might be an update, and I'm getting low on my data, so.
We got to get you into the future, or internet just needs to become a fucking utility like it should be.
I know. It fucking sucks. Because, well, do you know what killed me this month is WrestleMania?
Oh, right.
Because it's 2 4-hour events, basically, to back. And also, I downloaded, that last update for Elden Ring and something else updated.
That pornography.
All that. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I didn't even think of it because it's just
exactly
normal.
Like you already factor in that block.
It's like I have 250 gigs a month, and like 249.9 is porn.
Yes, somebody's got to run these servers.
Yeah, servers is just for me.
Yeah, you got your own private one.
Yeah, right. Oh man,
is right.
I mean, it was so sad because I'm down to I think I'm at 6%, and it doesn't reset till the 14th. So us doing this is probably gonna be the end of my streaming for a few days. Yeah.
Do you remember the good old days when we would do this shit in person? Yeah.
Yes.
We should definitely do more of those. Because then I could make you an old fashioned as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'd have to do it over at your place though, because I don't really have the place to do it now.
I got plenty of room.
Truth.
Plenty of room.
Truth. And I can bring my PlayStation over.
Update your shit.
Well, that's something else I didn't think about is, when you're playing a lot of the games now, like Elden Ring, you're connected to the internet the whole time. Sure. Or Grand Theft Auto, you're connected to the whole time. So it's constantly, pulling data that way too. So I've been, a little aware of that. But anyway.
I realized also, speaking of you coming over and us doing our thing.
What's that?
I never put that Keto Snacks video together.
That's true.
The last time we got together and recorded videos, that's the last one that still needs to go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole. Right here.
That's fair. I did order because I was in GameStop Friday, and that was the day that the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga
good stuff
came out, and so many people were there to pick that up. I was blown away. I've been in there on other days when games come out, and unless it's a big game, usually people trickle in. But yeah, Steve just says all those games are data killers. Amen, brother. Amen. So anyway, and I was talking with the guy that, the manager over there about it, and he was like, bruh, he's like, it's so good and all this. And I'm like, God, I love the damn Lego games, and the Star Wars ones are so much fun to play. So, and I was like, oh, look, I have discount coupons from the GameStops because I had coupons. I had one for renewing my pro membership, and then I had a bunch of rewards points. So I was like, well, so I pulled the trigger on that. I should have that in a few days too.
Look at you.
So, which is funny. I have so many Lego games that I haven't beat yet.
Brian, maybe you should Lego some of them. Hey.
Oh, that came in really low, man.
I can't really these sound effects. You know that.
You just can't. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I feel like that woman was in another house and booing. If you had your window open, that's what it sounds like.
It would sound like neighbors yelling at each other and barking dogs.
Oh no.
Well, apparently I can't just turn. I don't know what's going on. You know what, Brian?
Right,
I can't
enough.
wait to not have this Nook anymore. I don't even know when Nooks came out, but we're still using it.
I have a really old iPad that wouldn't be much better. So
I'm about ready to find a Nook and shove this thing into it.
Yeah, that's fair. Just leave it on the street somewhere.
It'd still be there in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably with another collection.
But yeah,
like, oh, right. This is where we're keeping these now. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like getting that game, because I was trying to decide, because like there's a new WWE game out that I've heard is really good, unlike the last version of it, which was the drizzling shits.
I actually have a memory about drizzling shits. We'll get to later.
All right. And also the Tiny Tina
I kind of
game came out. And I've heard it's a lot of fun.
I've heard that same thing.
But it's like, I still haven't beat Borderlands 3 yet, so
That's
it's
a
like
game you and I should play.
I'll wait
by the way.
It is, because we both own it,
like,
and
I've barely done anything in that game.
I haven't done a lot either, because you know how it is. That game's way more fun to play co-op. Sure. Like, I really wish we had the 4 people, team to roll around in that, like we did in 2, because that was a lot of fun when we were in that. Anyway, but so it's like, well, same with the wrestling game. It's like, if I wait, those will drop in price. I know the Lego one would too, but the Lego games are awesome because they're not. You can jump in, play like one level, and they're usually fun. They're, even when they're stressful, they're still really fun to play. And they're usually not like overtly difficult either. To where you just cry the whole time, like. Other games we won't speak of.
That's fair. Here's looking at you, cool cars.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Still can't get out of the driveway.
I couldn't think of that stupid Barbie game that came out years and years ago on PS2.
There was one, there were a few, because there was one where it's a horse game.
Sick.
Where I think,
Barbie takes it balls deep.
No, I don't think it was that one.
That's a different thing I looked at.
I think that was one that you were working on.
Like these are just stick figures, Tony. Yeah, but you got to dream big, man.
You're just smacking them together.
Yeah, picture this, but as pixels. Hand me that Coca-Cola drink.
Yeah. Yeah. No one will ever drink a drink named after pixels.
You want to bet?
You're right. Not with that attitude.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's about it for my week. Other than I got a new Undertaker pop that came out.
That's fair.
So pretty cool. He's like sitting up in his casket.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was hoping it wasn't like sitting up at his dining room table looking at Sports Illustrated, drinking coffee.
No, but I did read today that apparently he's going to have a podcast on the Peacock Network similar to like Stone Cold's podcast. So I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't.
If they're telling wrestling stories, it could be awesome to listen to. If he's going to have just friends of his on there, I feel like I'm not the target market for that.
This is when they divulge that he's really into needlepoint.
Oh, I wish. The only needles I'm pretty sure he's into are tattoos. But yeah, that would be awesome if he just, like, the first episode's just him sitting down with like his crochet sensei. Yes.
It's the Taker Crafts and Arts Hour. Because Arts and Crafts Hour was taken.
Yep. And remember, until next time, knit in P.
Yes.
It's so weird because at this point, I don't know that there's much he could really say that would surprise me. Like he's kind of done such a turn from, the Undertaker character as he's letting more and more of his personality show. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I was a beast on the roller skating rink.
Oh, dude. Yeah. He just shows footage of him in just some, shorty shorts at the
nutters.
At the roller.
Like black leather nutters.
Playing Crack the Whip. And Oh man, roller dancing to ABBA.
Yeah.
Dancing Queen. Oh man.
Yes, I want to see this. No, I don't actually. It sounds terrifying.
Yeah. No. He's dressed like Roller Girl from Boogie Nights. Sorry, right. Heather Graham, didn't mean to hurt you there.
Got his under titties out.
Anyway.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that'd be accurate. I mean, I don't think so now. He got himself pretty lean again, but for a little while there, he was starting to get a little under titty, and I think he might have had some fat sucked out, you know. Because I can understand that, you know, like if you're an aging wrestler and all that, I can understand maybe getting a little fat sucked out of your titties because you don't want to be like Ric Flair bouncing all over the ring, you know.
Like, what is that, a diva? Oh wait, it's Ric Flair.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's funny is that what I immediately thought of. I was watching Futurama last night, and it's the one where they get gender swapped, and they have to do the girly calendar, and the professor, they have a fan blowing on him. You see his hair blowing back, and each of his tits are on either side of him, blowing by him.
Good stuff. It's been good.
Anyway, so how's your week?
I mean,
yeah,
besides finding out I'm working the weekend, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. We love. Well, here's the way to look at it, right? Tomorrow it's supposed to be like a gorgeous day. The weekend it's supposed to be like 50. You know, just not terrible, but
it's a good day tomorrow. So the nutters,
bust out the shorty shorts. And, yeah.
You know, like you do.
Yep. Yeah. The Tony Tots, if you will. Yeah. Take your pick whether I'm referring to the shorts or the titties.
Yeah, it's just all tater tot.
Tony Tots.
Tater tot cuisine. Right?
I mean, I ain't mad at it.
Fucking
do a lot of
titty tots
tater
or whatever.
Tots. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening anymore, Brian. I'm scared.
I think we've lost control. We've lost control of the wheel. We're just sliding off the highway right now. Yeah, it's very similar to like if anyone's ever watched us play Grand Theft Auto.
100% accurate.
Yeah. Now we're good. We're good.
Are we really?
No.
The fuck was I gonna say?
Not at all.
I'm all out of sorts now, man.
I don't know. Don't know, man. Yeah. We really need someone to be the hard reset for us sometimes. This is
why the third mic was nice to have.
Yeah. Yeah. Tate was definitely the perfect foil for our shenanigans. He would certainly bring us back to point. Yeah.
So last Monday, for Logan's birthday, you know, because he turned 21. Which I did ask him. I was like, are you even into, like, drinking? He's like, oh, I've tried a few things. I Googled, easy to make drinks for 21-year-olds or something. I know.
Did he put sexy in front of it? He's like, sexy drinks for relaxing.
That is some old
callbacks there. Yeah.
But we ended up going to the old range. I told him a long time ago I was going to take him at some point. Yeah, hit some golf balls.
Right, hit some golf balls. Gotcha.
Now I'm not a firearm owner, but shooting is fun. I do enjoy it.
Right.
And he's never done it before.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went out to shout out Towers Armory in Oregon. And boy, Brian, if you want to go out there and shoot some shit, you can rent basically anything you can. Like, they have Tommy guns. They got all kinds of shit you can rent out there. Yeah, I was just like, it's the first time I've ever been out there. I had no idea. But I was just like, we're just doing pistols because it's cheaper and whatever.
Sure. Well, and that's a proper duel anyway.
But they had this thing. It was like $30. It's called Unlimited Pistol. You just buy ammo, and you can pick as many. You can keep swapping out pistols. So we ended up shooting like 6 different 9mm. He had a great time.
Yeah,
it was fun. My only complaint is he picked out this little tiny, like, And the thing, I ripped my hand open on it because when the slide kicked back, you know.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Dude, there was some dude in there. I think there's 8 lanes. I don't know what this guy was firing. It was like a fucking cannon. You know, because you got your ears on.
He's in there like a 50 cal.
And you could feel the concussion in the room. Like, I don't know what the hell it was. Fun. And then there's this whole family, and these people had an arsenal. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. They had some AK variant with them. And the one dude just kept going, Papa, come here. I don't know what was happening. Him and I had a great time. Around us seemed like pure chaos.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's fair. I feel like you're going to see a lot of that there. Like it seems like a kind of place where you just don't know exactly what you're going to see.
Monday, it's probably not going to be that busy. It's Logan's first time doing it. I'd rather go when it's not busy. And the place is fucking packed.
Yeah.
But when we were done, I asked them, I'm like, so when you first did it, I'm like, when you first shot, were you, did it freak you out? Because I told him, I'm like, I figured you were going to be into it immediately, or you're going to be like, this isn't for me, which is kind of pretty standard for most people probably. And he said at first he was like, I don't know about this, but then as he got comfortable with how loud it is in there and the feel of it, he really had a good time.
Right. Was he yelling pew 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 every time?
I mean, that would have been funny.
Because if not, you did it wrong. Yeah.
That would have been funny. He did pick out a great target. He kept it. It was just a close up of some dude's face. And he's like, and he had an apple on his head. And like as soon as he put that, like we had our traditional target at first, and then he put that one up when I went and switched out what pistols we were shooting. And I'm like, all right, Logan, you go up first. And immediately, like the first hole appears right between the dude's eyes. It's like, come on, Logan. It was fun, though. It was a good time.
Yeah. He's like, well, I've never even done this before. He just keeps hitting the same hole. Like, if you're just going to shoot the same hole, I'm wasting ammo here.
Yeah, I kind of, like I said, man, they got some shit there you can rent. I kind of want to go rent some shit. Like, dude, they got the old, like, Barrett 50 cal you can rent. Right?
Oh, my.
Because they got 2 ranges. They got a short range for the pistols, and they got a long range for rifle. And, I saw that, and it's like $50 for 5 shots, not counting the gun rental. So that'd be a special occasion for me, but just to see what it feels like.
Sure.
That would be the only reason.
Well, it's you didn't take your boy for drinking on his 21st, but you took him out and fired some guns off. So it's some form of blowing shit up. So it's either that or because he's 21's a little late if you're going to do the because I always thought that dads should take their kids at some point to get a good hot towel, the whole treatment.
That's a good call.
Unless they're a person who, rocks a lot of facial hair. But even then, you can still get a shave around it and everything, get it lined up, Right. But it's such a really nice experience that most of us don't bother with. It's one of the very few ways that you can, and it's kind of like an old rite of passage a little bit. Like, hey, I'm going to take you to get a real shave, once.
I thought about, so when I turned 21, my dad and I went to the local watering hole. We had a beer together.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought about that, but at the same time, I'm like, I've never seen him even remotely interested in drinking. He's never, as far as I know, snuck anything out of our cabinet or, beer for anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, and when we're driving out there, him and I were just bullshitting all the time. That's what I asked him. I'm like, and honestly, the only reason I even asked him was to be like, to find out if he was interested, and then go do the obligatory, don't do anything stupid. If you need a ride, call me.
Sure.
There's Uber, there's your mom, there's whatever.
Right.
Don't be dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't do what Donnie Don't does.
Yes. Yes. Wow, that's a nice call right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, though. It was good times.
That's cool.
So we had that going on for us. Over the weekend, we went to Shipshewana on the road.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't done that in a long time.
I was not impressed, Brian.
I was not the last time I went either. I've gone to it a couple of times. When I was younger, we went to it one time, and it was really impressive. I don't know. Have you ever been to Shipshewana?
I never have. This is the first Shipshewana experience for me.
All right. For those who don't know, Shipshewana is a giant flea market in Indiana, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in Indiana. And the biggest reason I used to love going with my parents to that was there was this Amish restaurant not too far from there that had amazing pies.
I mean, that's a reason to go right there.
The food was good too, but the pies were, chef's kiss. And I don't even remember the name of the place, though. It's been so long. It may not even be open anymore. I have no idea.
Shipshewana is a town.
Yes.
I thought it was just an event.
No, it's an actual town, but there's like a giant flea market there, and it's got all sorts of stuff in it. And it's one of those like an all-day kind of flea market. Like you really can be there for a long time. And then they started doing that on the road, which was, traveling vendors or, local vendors would set up in it or whatever and stuff. And I went to it twice, and neither time. The first time I went, it was more impressive. The second time, I was like, ooh, this is really kind of slipping away from them.
Yeah, so. Well, I'm looking at. I pulled up some images on here on the old Googs, and it's huge.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is it huge?
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Like how big it is. Yeah, for anyone looking right now, all those covered buildings are just full of vendors.
Well,
and I believe there's a little indoor area or something there too.
I mean, my favorite thing is to look at weird shit.
Yes.
We like going to antique malls. I like going to weird thrift shops. I just like to look at weird stuff.
Right. Sex dungeons.
Sex dungeons. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Old folks' homes.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Same difference.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, maybe about the dungeon part, definitely the sex part.
Yeah. From all those herpes numbers we've heard about off and on over the years. Yeah.
Herpes and his piece. Hey.
Ugh.
Yeah, all right. Ugh.
Your pun was bad. You should feel bad.
I do. I actually do kind of feel bad about that one.
No, you don't.
So I was kind of expecting it to be like swap meet kind of shit.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it was supposed to be originally, but it got far away from that.
Yeah, the Shipshewana on the road we went to, I want to say had maybe 3 or 4 people that actually had stuff they crafted.
Yeah.
And then the rest was like, well, what can I get off of Alibaba?
Yeah.
Or it was, hey, you want a Costco membership? Yo, dog, you got shit in your gutters?
Yeah.
It was all just stuff like, it's like, this is not interesting to me.
No, that's why I said the first time I went, it was more of, like you said, it was more swap meet stuff, or like people who bought like pallets of electronics from stores, that were either like returns or what, like still good stuff, but just, like, I don't know if you remember like service merchandise.
Oh my God. That's a venue I haven't heard about in a long time.
Like stores like that, and like Amazon still does it, where they sell off pallets of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's quality stuff. It's just things that
like the vendors are fucked up, or
yeah, it's just shit like that or whatever. And there used to be a lot of that kind of stuff too. Like you remember they used to have like those big electronic sales, like Sunday at the big electronic sale, like kind of thing.
The parking lot, we got the big top.
Yeah, basically those kind of things. Like it had some of that in there too. It's kind of a mix of all the different stuff. And the second time I went, it was more like you said, where it was more just like, wow, there's a lot of cheap shit here.
Yeah,
and by cheap, I mean quality more than price. But
I wasn't super impressed, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like I was hoping for the best. I was like, oh, maybe I could find some old vinyls, or maybe. Yeah, I mean, we literally paid our entrance fee, went up and down the aisles, looked at each other, and left.
Out of curiosity, what did it cost to get into it?
For both of us, $10, $5 a piece.
Okay, that's not
It's
terrible.
not terrible, but to just be there for
Still,
15 minutes and be like, well, this is a waste.
Yeah.
I mean, the people watching was on point.
Sure.
You know? I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
No.
But, you know.
Oh, you guys ought to, like, if you ever get a chance, maybe take a trip to the other thing, because at least, I don't know what it's like now.
Right.
But when we used to go, there was a lot of, like, handmade stuff there and a lot of weird shit and the stuff you're looking for.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
You know, there was a lot more of it then. Like I said, I haven't been there in years, so it may not be the same.
I mean, a few years back, we, like before my parents sold their cottage, we went to an auto auction.
Yeah.
And that was cool, but they had a whole like area outside of the auction that was like that. And that was all like reclaimed car parts and old Coke shit and, you know.
Yeah.
Like the Detroit Speed Cult was there, the metal fabricators. They make all those artistic stuff, and I was like, that was really cool.
Right.
Like every booth, with the exception, there's a couple booths that are like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
But for the most part, every booth was like, oh wow, look at this, look at that. Whoa, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just like that. Whatever. I like weird shit.
Fair enough. Yeah. Like, I see you're a car man. We can put gutters on your car.
Yeah. You got shit in your car gutters?
And get you a Costco membership. Like, whoa, you don't say.
So I done did fucked up last week, Brian.
Yeah.
I almost said AA Ron. So Leah is doing her driving test this Wednesday.
Okay.
And, you know, it's already been settled. Once she gets her license, she's going to buy the Buick off me, right?
Right.
Which is fine. So I'm like, it's happening. I was like, oh shit. I was scrambling for a couple weeks there trying to find a car.
Yeah.
And then Michelle was like, why don't you just buy a top for your Jeep and just drive the Jeep for a while until cars maybe the market settles down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's a good call. So I hopped on this website, and I the day I was doing this, I barely slept the night before. I was all fuckered up. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But I ordered everything I needed, and it was way more money than I remember looking it up.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, what happened? But I was like, whatever. I need to get this stuff. So I can drive not in the rain.
You didn't go to Wish to order?
I thought about it, but I would have taken 6 months.
Also,
and it would have sent me Sherpa car covers or something.
I mean, that wouldn't be all bad.
But I never got an email from this company, right? And I've ordered from this company before.
Okay.
And I'm like, what's going on? You think I would get a tracking number by now?
Yeah.
So I pull up their website and I look at my order, and the first thing I noticed was I ordered shit for a Jeep that's the same year as my Buick. The Buick is 10 years newer than my Jeep, Ryan.
Right.
And I went, what the fuck happened? And, you know, on this website, you can, like, set up your garage.
This is where we need the cocaine is a hell of a drug drop.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you could set up, like, a garage. And I clicked on it, and I had a 2004 Jeep and a 2014 Jeep in there. I'm like,
wow.
What happened?
Wishful thinking there, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So now I'm scrambling. I'm trying to live chat this company. The next day at work, I'm at work. I'm on the line of my phone out trying to figure this shit out.
Right.
And they're like, oh man, it's already been shipped. Like that's what I got from the live chat. And I was like, oh fuck. So I go back and I ordered the proper stuff, which is way cheaper. Thinking like I'm just gonna have to return it when I get it. But then I called because I on their website it just said still awaiting fulfillment. Right.
Right.
So I called him up, and this nice lady, she's like, oh, you know what? It looks like it's on the truck. She's like, there's really nothing I can do about it now. But here's what I don't get. I ordered it. I waited 2 days. I realized I fucked up. Then the next day I ordered the proper stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wednesday, the stuff I need to return is going to show up. Thursday, the proper stuff is going to show up. How does that work?
Good
That
question.
doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't believe I did that though.
So now you got to return all the others.
Yeah, and when I called her, she was like, "Oh yeah, none of this stuff's gonna." I told her, she's like, "What year do you have?" And I told her, she's like, "Oh yeah, none of this stuff's gonna work for your Jeep." And she's like, "Yeah, just and I got her name and I got everything." She's like, "When you get it, call back. Anyone can help, but you can ask for me if you want." She probably liked my voice, Brian. But
yeah.
And
you're gonna get this call back, and it's gonna be like, boo doo doo. This number is out of service.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just call right back.
Oh yeah, for sure. She's doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
stay on the owner.
I can't believe I did that though. Like I try really hard to cross my I's and dot my T's.
You sure did.
And I done fucked up hard.
I think the I crossing is probably where you went wrong here.
I cannot believe I did that.
Yeah. Oof.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
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 I mean, at least I'll get my money back, but it's just the time and the fact I have money that's like floating in the middle of the air doing nothing right now.
Right. Yeah. That's always fun. Yeah.
It sucks. Whatever. It is what it is.
Bitch. Yeah.
Did you know, Brian, that our little favorite spot, Burgers, has won Best Burger Joint in Toledo 4 years in a row?
No, but I'm not surprised because the burgers there are pretty legit.
Yes, I was there Friday because we were running around like idiots, and I'm like, let's just go to Burgers and get dinner because it's cheap.
Yeah.
And I got the burger, and then they had on a sign, "Thanks, Toledo, 4 years in a row," right? And I was like, of course. And I got a burger, and I almost had to go into the bathroom and finish. That's how good the burger was.
That's fair.
So good.
Yeah.
And you never would think looking at that place.
No, not really.
But I guess there's a reason it's been there like 30-some years.
And, I was going to say, and the burgers have been good as long as I can remember. I don't remember there ever being like a dip in them not being good and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's always been a tasty treat.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I don't know why I brought that up. I'm just thinking about it.
Because, it's a burger.
Oh, God, it's so good.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I know, right?
Actually, I haven't had a burger in a while. That sounds good.
Oh, I mean,
Be right back.
I was saying, well, if we're trying to figure out something for Tuesday.
I ain't mad at it.
Right?
But also,
their beer selection's kind of sus, though.
There's that. And they don't have a patio if we're looking to do that action. But
that's true, too.
So, but otherwise, not mad.
Not bad, yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of out of like things of the week stuff.
Yeah.
But you remember how earlier I said I've got a shit drizzle story or something?
Drizzling shit story, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking about this, Brian. I think you know what it was? We had when the kids came over, we had walking tacos. So I bought little bags of chips and stuff. And I've been throwing them in my lunchbox. And for some reason, I was eating chips, and I was kind of looking at the bag, and I just had this like rush of memories. Do you remember when chips had Olean in them?
Yep.
And it was just the anal leakage snacks?
Yes. That and Olestra.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was the other one, Olestra.
That's right.
What they still sold those.
I know. It's amazing. Dude, I was watching Futurama the other night, and there's an episode where they find some stuff that was dug up from like our time, and Bender or Fry sees his bag of chips and they has Olean or whatever in them, and Bender eats some of them, and then he goes, "Ugh," and he's like holding his stomach, and then you just see him like bricks come out his back end. And I was like, that's such a great gag that they don't point out,
right?
Like he's shitting bricks,
quite literally shitting bricks.
Although, and from what I've heard, you wouldn't have had anything that solid come out of me back then. I hear it was
I always stayed away from them.
Yeah, me too. I never had them.
I just, like I said, I can't believe that was a world we lived in.
Yeah, there was. Oh man, I gotta find it real quick. There's a podcast I listened to about that
really?
One time. Yeah, I'm trying
Was it the
to.
anal leakage
There's
hour?
two. How did you know? No. I can't see what I'm typing now.
I'm just gonna. Should I Google anal leakage snacks?
I would not.
Yeah,
That seems weird. Okay. The name of the podcast is Maintenance Phase, and it was Olestra is what they did it on. And it's an episode like that show is I enjoy it sometimes because they'll cover something and really kind of deep dive into like weight loss things and different stuff. Like they've had episodes about I think like Dr. Oz and some of the bullshit he's pushed and stuff like that. But this episode on there, I'll have a link to it in the show notes if anyone wants to listen to it. But it was an interesting listen because I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, I think they kind of came out like that. A lot of the proof showed that there really wasn't evidence of the pants shitting that everyone thought.
Really?
And that it was just pulled off the market because basically, it was found guilty in the court of public opinion. If everyone thinks you're going to shit yourself, then who's going to buy it?
That's true.
Unless you're looking to do a weird podcast or something.
Ruffles, wow. As in, wow, I'm shitting my pants.
Yeah. Because that was the rumors going around, was that it was like the Earl would just basically leak out your anus.
Yeah, right.
And like, I don't know, man. I've always been leery of diet snacks anyway.
Dude, when I first went keto, back that time, and
See, this is where I would refer people to us doing the keto snacks, but
yeah, it's coming, y'all. Jesus.
Sorry, I just had to twist that knife a little. Just had to twist it a little bit.
Yeah, I can't remember what the brand was, but it was these protein bars. They were really good.
Okay.
And I went one day. I went hard on them, and they have those sugar alcohols in them.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
If you want to have a moment of panic, enjoy some sugar alcohol.
Yeah.
That was an old rough day in the work van.
That's because it's why they tell people to not chew tons of sugar-free gum because of that kind of reason. Because
those Haribo sugar-free gummies, that used to be like the challenge or whatever.
Yep, and not just those, but there were Jelly Bellies that were like that too. That people would literally get the screamers from it.
Screamers.
So. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good name for. Sorry, I got brakes on. There we go.
Yeah.
That's a good name for some jelly beans that'll make you shit your pants. Screamers.
Right. Screamers, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I said, man, I was just like getting my lunch put together. I'm making our drink, by the way. Fuck this.
Yeah, I think we all know.
I don't know why I was thinking about that. The old shit your pants snacks.
Oh man, yeah. That's why I said this podcast that I mentioned. I definitely check it out. Sorry, I just saw the video of me drinking my water and my whole water bottle except the cap disappeared basically, or where it was attached to my mouth. So you just see me like leaning back like this, and then there's just something on my mouth.
You're a magic man,
and then it's gone. Yes,
he's a magic man.
It's this wizard, this background wizardry going on here. Oh man, yeah, it is mind blowing though, like what people will, what they'll eat in the name of whatever diet that they're on. I've just always been. I mean, I know maybe that's why I'm never had great success losing a lot of weight really, except for when I was just like, I'm gonna just quit eating shit.
I mean that's half the battle, honestly.
Yeah, I ate better and exercised, and that was, senior year of high school when I dropped, what was it, like 75 pounds, I think it was, within, a year and a half range. And that's all it was. I literally just quit eating candy, quit drinking pop, or not quit, but I just rarely had it, and I just started eating a whole lot better. And like I said, exercise, of course, helped too. I was also 17 years old.
That's
so I had
big
that,
help.
17-year-old testosterone and, I can't think of the other word.
Moxie?
Yes, Moxie. Yeah. Whereas now I'm just an old man, an old man.
Yeah, dude, it's been, I don't know, a couple years since I've been to the doctor because of the COVID. I'm like, God, I got to make an appointment. I've got to get my fucking blood done. Probably get my ass fingered. Unfortunately,
that's just for fun.
That's just for funsies. You're right. Yeah. But I got to do all this stuff. And just as I'm like, all right, I got to hop online. I got to figure out who my doctor is because it's been so long. I get
a lot
told
of people
that we're switching insurance companies because my company got bought out. I was like, God damn it.
That's
that's
such a pain in the ass
until like the beginning of May before everything kicks in.
Yep. Because every time a company gets bought out, it seems like they switch insurances.
Like my vision, my dental is the same, but the medical's not.
Yeah.
So
right.
Whatever.
Oh man, that means you may not be able to go to the doctor with the big knuckles anymore.
That guy.
Where it's like pulling anal beads out.
That old Indian man with his arthritic fingers.
Yeah. Damn, where's Dev when we need him? We need someone to pop out the plugs.
Violators claws.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, right?
Bend over.
It was a week ago. My brother was gonna be having a colonoscopy, and before the day. Yeah. A couple days before, I was out with him because he was looking for popsicles, because the day before you can't have anything but like popsicles, basically, that kind of stuff, So, but you also can't have red, blue, or purple because they're going to be, pushing a camera up your ass. And obviously red could, dye your stuff and make them think there's blood. Yeah, right. So it's like, no, nothing like that. So we're out. He's trying to find popsicles that don't have red, blue, or purple.
Yeah, it's just called ice.
Which, yeah, I told him to just make some ice or make it like Kool-Aid, like buy some colors he can have.
Time and freeze it.
Right. Well, he's got various things of Mio, and I was like, just freeze that.
For sure.
Like, as long as they're not the colors you're not supposed to have. And then, of course, the ones he has are like fruit punch and whatever. So, of course, those are right out. But it was funny because we were in Meijer and, and I'm asking the guy in the frozen section, because we go in Meijer and there was like no popsicles at all. And I'm like, what the hell? It's not even summer yet. Like, who's eating all the popsicles?
There's a weird shortage on certain foods. I've been really trying to find toaster strudels. And I can't fucking find them, man.
It's because they're delicious.
All I can find is the weird savory ones. I don't want those.
Yeah.
Keep your eggs on my weird. Toaster, you weirdos.
It's so weird how we're still seeing every once in a while there'll be something I'm at the store. I was at Kroger today. I was going to get a bag of French fries. There's like no French fries except for like waffle fries, which were fine. But there was like, I wanted to get like seasoned fries, and then I found seasoned waffle fries. So I was like, oh, that works, or I could just season them myself, whatever,
Season 3 is probably the best one.
No, they were fall, actually. That's what, No, so, but I was just like, are you kidding me? There's no French fries? like, is there a potato famine I'm not aware of?
It's weird, isn't it?
Like, how are we not getting frozen potatoes to the market? That's not something we have to import.
You came to my house, Brian. I have an 8-pound bag out in my garage.
Well, we did.
You came to my house
here too, and yeah, dude, I'm at your house all the time. If you go look, you only have about 3 pounds of potatoes now.
Like, damn, someone got into my fries. I know I gotta get a lock for this garage.
My taters. My taters.
Because my beer fridge is nothing but beer and French fries.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing in the beer fridge anymore. I stole it all. Like when you told me about how you had your beer on the porch, and I was like, if I drove, I so would have come over and then taken your beer off the porch. just for shit.
If you would have sent me a picture of you sitting on my porch drinking one of my beers in the middle of winter, I would have laughed my balls off.
And that's what I said. If I drove, I totally would have done it. But with me not driving, I kind of
put the damper on that.
Yeah, I mean, I could have got a hold of Mike probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But like, hey, this will be hilarious.
It would have been.
He probably would have been, because it's not that far to your house, Not like where you lived in St. Anthony, where it would take a minute to get there. So, yeah. Good stuff. But, yeah. Anyway, so we ended up at another Kroger, and they had the only flavor. Okay, so they have a bag of popsicles that has, the colors of the rainbow. Right? So you have cherry, orange, banana, lime, grape, and whatever blue is. It's probably just blue raspberry or something, or frost, like Gatorade calls it.
That's just because it's been frosted burnt.
Yeah. So those were the flavors in this package, right? Now, guess of those flavors, what the only flavor they had in a single, like where it's all one flavor, a package of it. Guess which of those flavors it was.
Wait, what colors can he not have?
He can't have red, blue, or purple.
Jesus. What was in that? What was in the rainbow pack again?
The flavors that were not red, blue, and purple were lime, banana, and orange.
Banana.
It 100% was banana. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Of all the flavors in that package, not cherry, not orange, banana. Yeah. So that's what he got. He got a giant ass package of banana popsicles. And I'm like, how were they? He's like, they actually weren't bad.
I'm with you, though. It's like, just make your own.
Yeah.
You remember the old poor man's popsicles we used to make as kids? When you just take toothpicks in your ice cube tray?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, like my mom always had popsicle. Well, she actually had it. She still has like an old Tupperware. Actually, I might have it now. She had one that was a Tupperware.
I remember that actually.
Yeah, it's from like the 70s, I think. And but I think I had one or two others that I bought when I was with Jen. And I even told him, I said, I think I know where they're at in my storage. If you just head over there, I said, you can borrow them. You can just make
I've
your own
got
popsicle
makers downstairs in my kitchen because like 2 years ago we made them because we thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, I know. I actually stole them. Those are the ones I have over in my storage.
Dad, my potatoes, how dare you? Making potato popsicles?
Wait, oh, God. Not unless it's with vodka.
Oh, shit, hit my microphone. Tatertotsicles.
God. They're just frozen potato bites, basically.
And the liquid's just watered down ketchup.
I'm just picturing somebody comes up and they'll be like,
just that ketchup bottle pee. We just collect it.
Oh, gross. Can it at least be like gochujang or something like that? Or goju?
It's got to be awful.
Yeah. So I was picturing when you said like someone rolls up to the window because it's a food truck, of course. As all of our ideas are.
It's been the new ideas of just food trucks.
Because fuck this giant overhead. Yeah. So they roll up and they're like, one order of whatever you called them.
Tatertotsicles. And have some respect.
Tatertotsicles. Okay. I'm going to write it down here. So they were like, I want one order of tatertotsicles. You just rip open a bag of frozen tater tots, just dump them in and hand it to them.
No, they got to be frozen already and with a stick.
Oh, with a stick. Okay, so you just stick a toothpick into each one, basically.
Just a long fry.
Oh.
It's like a steak.
You just hand them like chopsticks. Yeah. Oh man, literally a steak. Like STAKE.
I get it.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Boy. Oh boy.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. Sure does. Man. Wow. I don't think that was one of our better ideas for a food
it's pretty
truck.
good. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I gotta say, what would be hilarious is if you could take the pea from the ketchup and turn that into a delicious sauce.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Like if there's some way to just, not really mess with it much, where it still looks and kind of has that consistency, but still it's just packed with flavor.
You know what else would be hilarious?
Just like, what is this? Be like, oh, this is just that shit that just runs out of the ketchup bottle.
The part everyone goes, oh God, my bun.
Yep.
What else would be hilarious is the look on children's faces as a Tatertotsicle truck goes through their neighborhood. They come running up and they just look at the little like picture menu board. It's all just tater tot things.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'd be excited for that.
Yeah, but they're all frozen. You know? There's no fresh, delicious tater tots.
Oh, all right. I have an air fryer. It's
fine. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. So like on The Simpsons, where the one summer where the truck goes rolling through their neighborhood and they think it's an ice cream truck, they're all excited, and as they get closer, the guy's like, boiling hot chili and warm root beer.
Delicious.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I think this year I want to have a jar in my front, like on my mantle, with just some, little bit of monies in it, just for this ice cream truck. Because we get ice cream trucks through our neighborhood all the time.
I thought you were going to start becoming like Howard Hughes here.
Oh,
start keeping piss in a jar.
Start. Have you seen my basement?
That's true, and you don't cut your toenails.
Right? I don't have to. I walk on the pavement like a dog.
Walk around with tissue boxes on your feet, and you pretty much got it.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Seems pretty crazy.
Fine. It'll be all right.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, my.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It's a little warm up here, man.
Yeah, I figured it would be. So, have you seen... I'm going to do a couple news stories here real quick.
Let's do it.
But you'll have to, did you see the Dyson wearable, like, headphone air purifier thing?
What?
Okay. It's called the Dyson Zone, is what it's called. It apparently boasts cutting-edge acoustics plus an air-filtering magnetic visor, which goes across the front of your...
What the fuck am I looking at right now? Is this the future?
Yeah. For when you want to be Bane, but also have, hot beats in your ears.
Hell yeah. Yo, dog, you ever wanted to freeze somebody in midair and an uppercut them?
Who hasn't?
Yeah, it's got a very... I don't like this, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's
How much
it's weird because they haven't announced the price that I know of yet. So it's supposed to come out next year. It consists of a compressor fan in each headphone that draws air in. An electrostatic filter also in the earpiece collects particles. The purified air is then delivered via the visor to the mouth and nose area. It doesn't touch your face, but blows air at you from a small distance. And apparently,
there are really necessary.
There are multiple fan speeds to compensate for heavier breathing when working out versus sitting at your desk. Can you imagine wearing one of these while you're getting it on? Yeah.
Yeah, baby. I got
listening to your favorite...
for my breath and my dick. Am I right?
Yep. Girl, I got an answer to your funky breath. Just put this thing on.
I mean, I don't even know what I would think if I saw somebody walking around with this. Like, granted, in the era of COVID, wearing masks has become pretty normal. But this is not anything I've ever seen before.
No.
And I think if I saw somebody, they would get some looks. I mean, this dude looks like fucking Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I know, right? So the two questions they bring up on the Nerdist, which I think are very good, which is one, since it will be the first version of something, the chances of the technology weighing a lot are probably high.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's, it hasn't been perfected, 5 versions of it down the road or whatever. And the other is what the battery life on that thing would be.
I mean, if it's got constant fans running.
Yeah, it seems like it can't be. And you're listening to music or whatever, too. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would rather just, deal with the air pollution and put my earbuds in.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm wondering about something here. Because the way I'm reading this, I don't know for sure if they're just... It's weird because it doesn't... Okay, there we go. I was going to say it didn't just talk about... Or it says it doesn't... it doesn't mention if the visor is removable if you just want to use the headphones or if you always have to have the visor on and look like some futuristic punter. Like, you remember when punters used to just have that one bar on their mask?
Like, I feel like you need some big giant shades too. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I guess if you're just going to do that, though. I mean, seriously, Dyson, just give us the full Daft Pod helmet or Daft Punk helmet.
Like, they're wearing helmets.
Speaking of, shout out to them. The glass I was using, well, no one can see it, but the glass I was using actually is one that they
very nice.
sent me. So, yeah. But yeah, just give me the full Daft Punk helmet. It just purifies things, does cool Iron Man shit in front of my face, and also lets me listen to my favorite podcasts like Salty Language.
Check it out.
Yeah. This seems weird. I'm really curious because this is Dyson. I'm really curious what the price point on this thing is. It's got to be like $1,000 or more or something.
Dustbusters like $600.
Yeah, their fan is like what, $300 or $400 for just a little fan. It's pretty cool though. I like that I can stick my hand with.
But it's not that cool.
But still,
I can get an equally awesome air moving fan for $60.
yeah, with a remote.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know if this comes with a remote. Yeah, I'll tell you, after having one with a remote, I don't. It's gonna be tough to have one without a remote after that. 100%. You know, so even when I'm sitting 2 feet from the thing, I'll use the remote. But I talked about that years ago. Remember, I used to sit right next to my radio, my boombox.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I'd still use the remote, mainly because it was easier because, the buttons were all over the place on the thing versus the remote. They're just boom, boom,
It's easier to use the remote
quick.
Things up on your shoulder, too, or whatever.
Yeah. Word.
Oh, later, Steve. Love you, buddy. He's saying goodbye.
Bye, Steve. But when you're bumping that new shit by NWA, if you will.
Hell yeah. Wait, new shit?
Yeah. It's from Boys in the Hood.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The line in the song. It's not new shit. I think he just is bumping that shit or bumping new shit by NWA.
I got all confused. I started talking about Dysons again. I was like, what timeline are we in now?
No.
I
maybe
cannot see myself ever needing something like that.
I mean, I'll say this. If they want to send me one for free, I'll certainly use it.
I'll podcast with it on my face if they're going to send it to me. Give it a sweet
I would
Dyson
too,
bucks.
Yeah. That'd be fun. The Dyson Zone cast presented by Dyson Zone. Yep.
But in real life,
hey, Zone enthusiasts,
I'm good.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't even like to wear over-the-ear headphones out and about. I like to be like incognito and shit,
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not a fan of the big honking, even though I prefer them for the sound and for my ears because they're better for
if I'm
ears.
Like walking
but
through my local grocery store, I don't want to look like I'm about ready to drop some sick beats.
I mean, maybe. Yeah,
it would be fun to stand in the produce section, look like you're like at turntables and shit. Feel like
over by the tortillas.
Yeah, by the tortillas in the bakery. Got pies set up.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
Like he's killing it, dude.
I saw him in the parking lot
like
eating all kinds of gummies. I don't know what's going on.
Like you're doing that, and I'm just standing there, just pumping my fist, like fuck yeah. Drink, just grabbing hard seltzers.
Hell yeah! Now we're talking.
Yeah, buddy. Man, I saw somebody on Instagram yesterday post that they were at some club, and the place they were at charged like $13 for White Claws.
Well, Brian, where there's claws, there's no laws and shiznit.
Man, still though, like $13 for a White Claw. Come on.
Hey,
I see what you did there. I was like, man, I don't even want to know what a mixed drink is in a place like that. Like an old fashioned, probably like seven. Well, they probably don't even have old fashioned. Yeah, never mind talking about. Like, oof. I mean, that's worse than like ballpark prices, for like a beer where it's like $10.
All the rage, you know that. We're gonna have to do it now that it's getting warm out. We're gonna have to do it in our seltzer video. Maybe do a live remote from the backyard or something. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I like it. Man, did you see that? Or did you hear anything about this? Like Etsy strike? That's
Etsy strike.
Yeah, Etsy recently increased their fees from 5% to 6.5%. And I guess there's more to it than that. Like, there's a bunch of other, like, I guess they've got a bunch of, or not a bunch, but they have other things that, like, they're requiring sellers to respond within like 24 hours or something like that. And because I saw a bunch of people online really complaining about like how they were like, yeah, good luck getting them to respond within 24 hours, but they're going to hold us to that, you know. And they're like, given that Etsy is, you know, homemade type stuff for the most part, not as much as it used to be, because it used to be exclusively like you had to craft the stuff essentially.
Like, oh, I've seen the stuff on like Redbubble and shit.
Yeah, they've got all sorts of stuff now. Because they got bought out. When they got bought, they opened the gates a little bit. But a lot of people are really mad at the, you know, that price going up, which is understandable because, you know, as somebody who's sold on eBay off and on over the years, I mean, man, you know, for a while there, it felt like eBay was constantly just every year it was like, oh, seller fees are going up again and again and again. Yeah, it's like, come on. Like, yeah, certain point you're going to make it to where there's no point in doing it. So,
I mean, that's I get it.
I was looking for when it's supposed to be.
April 11th through the 18th.
Do you have something?
Looks like.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to say, I think it's going on now, which today's the 11th. As we're recording this, it's the 11th. So what I think they were asking people to not buy from Etsy. Like, if there's a favorite seller on there,
find their website.
Go to find their website or hit them up and be like, hey, can I buy directly from you? Which is a better move anyway. It's like when you find a musician that you like, right? Like if you can buy through like a Bandcamp or something like that. Like, I don't know if you know this, like on Fridays, Bandcamp usually had, or used to, I don't know for sure if they still do, but they used to have a thing to where on Fridays, Bandcamp didn't take a cut.
Cool.
So all the money would go to the artist. So a lot, you know, it was like, well, that's the day to buy from your favorite, you know, whatever it is you're buying from on there.
As someone who lives in a house with someone that sells shit online and creates, she's got her own website, and it's like all of her social media drives traffic to that. And I want to say, I can't remember if she used to have an Etsy set up or not, but I really think the move is just get your own site. And I know Etsy makes it easy because it's an app. You know, you could be like, oh, I need, you know, fucking old Indian man anal beads. Let me look on Etsy. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Yeah.
But it makes it easier. But if there's a creator you really like, if they have a website, just buy it straight from them.
Right, because it's similar to like what you're saying, like with a musician, you know, if you love it, it's like, you know, streaming their shit on Spotify, you know, we'll send them like a penny for every 2 billion, you know, plays. But if you're going to buy it, it's like if you buy it through like iTunes, they get a tiny percent. If you go through like Bandcamp or directly through them, they get a much bigger cut of the money. So, you know, you know, it's just a good move. I've done that a couple times with people where I've seen shirts that they've done that I like that one that I have that says empathy is more what is it, more rebellious than a middle finger. Like, I really dug that shirt, and I hit the dude up because I saw it through some other site, and I hit him up and I'm like, hey, do you have a website you sell through? Because if so, I'll just buy. I'd rather buy direct. And when he did, he didn't have any in stock, but he was, you know, when he did his next order for it, I pre-ordered one. That way, whatever extra money goes into his pocket instead.
And I'm not going to lie. Like, for instance, Brian, the Airbnbs, I haven't done a ton of Airbnbs, but the ones I have stayed at, every time I've stayed at one, there's usually a note, or I've actually talked to the people in person that owned it, and they're like, hey, if you want to come back, just call me directly. Because they don't want to get it, but because Airbnb monitors your chat. So if you're like, hey, give me your phone, you know, they'll be like flagged and shit. So, but you know, if you, to get around them, you literally have to do it like you're doing a spy mission, you know?
Yeah. Well, eBay's similar. Like if you, like if someone, you know, like they go to buy something from you, and then if they email you and go, hey, do you have another one, or do you have blah blah blah? If you try to make that sale without giving eBay a cut of it, you can get in trouble from eBay, which I understand. But it's all
yeah. You should be able to do your own thing.
But you're not allowed.
You know, if it's not listed, fuck.
But you're not supposed to put.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. But you're not supposed to, even on eBay, you're not supposed to put like your email or nothing in there for safety reasons. But the real reason we all know is because they don't want you to work around it. Totally.
Beaks.
Well, that's part of why eBay takes a cut of shipping fees too. Like they take money off what you sell an item for and the shipping fee.
Don't you have enough money, eBay?
They do that. No. And the reason they did that was because what people were doing was to cut down on eBay getting a cut. They'd sell something for like $5 but charge you $30 in shipping. So the eBay's reason is so that it keeps shipping prices fair, but the real reason is because most of that loaded shipping was to circumvent eBay's fees. By the way. Yeah, it is. So, you know, whatever. But I wanted to bring that up mainly because, you know, obviously with, you know, Michelle being a creator, I just, you know, it's a good soapbox moment for that as well. But also, you know, it sucks, even though it doesn't seem like much, right? Like 1.5% doesn't seem like much, but it is, you know, it's, man. And especially, well, yeah, like every little bit that's kept out of your pocket, you know, and it's like they're a fucking, you know, owned by I can't remember who owns them now. They're owned by a bigger corporation now because they got bought out like a couple years ago, I think. And, you know, I don't know. I just go through, like you said, just go through their website, hit them up on social media, whatever, and find out if they have some way you can just buy it direct from them.
It's really the move.
You know? Yeah, it is. They put as much money in their pocket as possible, and you don't care because you're paying the same money, basically.
How I feel about it.
You know, that's why I always hated the way a lot of podcasts have to do shirts when they would go through some of these sites where it was like they got to charge like $30 to put $5 in their pocket. And it's like, oh, come on. You know, it's like no one wants to pay $30 for a T-shirt, you know, let alone, you know. And then it still doesn't put much money in their pocket. You know, it's like, man, like I'd rather just give the podcast some money. Like here's $10, right? You know. Speaking of, we have a Patreon. No. And T-shirts.
Yeah, we do have a Patreon and we do have T-shirts. The link's on the website, saltylanguage.com. I don't think the Patreon link is on there, but I'm going to put that on tomorrow.
Okay. Well, if not, if you go on patreon.com, search Salty Language, or is it Salty Language Pod? Do you remember?
It up as we speak. It is Salty Language on Patreon. If you want to become a supporter, and we're actually we're gonna start putting some content on there for Patreon only.
Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly this time, Brian.
We're actually gonna follow through. I don't know if I like this. Way too much pressure.
No pressure. You'll be all right. It's going to be fine.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, I got one last thing before we jump into the Q of the W, because I got...
Sorry. I'll forget.
So I've got to shut up and take my money. And these are pretty dope. I found this through Nerdist also. And I brought it up because this might be something, I don't know if you know, your boy's still into this, but either way, I thought they were pretty cool, which is their 1980s inspired dice sets.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, like dice for, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. And they come in, it looks like it's a VHS cassette, like where you slide it out and then the box has the dice in it.
I think I found it. Oh, from the Nerdist, you said you got it? All right, I got the article right here.
Ooh. Oh, they're way more than I thought. I didn't see that. But again, you know, shut up and take my monies tend to be something, man. Yep. So it looks like the it's a Kickstarter thing. It looks like you got to get like a $70 donation though, which is a lot for a set of D20s or dice. I mean, not D20, but I just thought they were cool anyways.
They are really cool. It says the color scheme is inspired by VHS tape packaging. That's awesome. I mean, I love the fact it's a little tape sleeve. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's not the same size as a full-on VHS, but it's still,
as weird as it is, I kind of missed. We were talking about that. Well, I talked about last week how we watched that VHS 1992 or whatever that movie was. And there's parts of the movie where it's like, and I was telling Leah, I was like, oh, this is the part you'd adjust the tracking. And she's like, what? And I had to try to like explain to her.
Yeah.
Like, until auto tracking came out on VCRs, you had little dials and you had to dial your picture in.
Yep. It just makes me remember how many times people brought videos in and they were like, this doesn't work. And I'd put it in the VHS, player we had there. And I'd be like, it does. They just don't know how to use their tracking. Like it works. And like, as soon as I twist the tracking a couple times, I'm like, there it is. It's perfect. It's like, this tape works just fine. I was so happy when auto tracking became, to where like that. It's amazing how much less returns we had on, or the returns were more legit. Like most of the time, be like, hey, this got chewed up in my VCR. I was like, okay, let's see if I can save it.
I remember when my grandma and grandpa bought a VCR that had auto tracking. We almost burned it at the stake. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's witchcraft, Yeah.
Yeah, shit was wild, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is though. I kind of miss. I miss like. It's like the same thing with me buying vinyl. I miss having it and holding it.
Right.
It's like now you go on Netflix. I'm holding my remote, or I just talk to it. Hey Siri, Alexa, I need this. There's. It's not like Oh Jesus! I'm sorry. I forgot I had one in here. She's always listening.
Yep, always.
No, there's something like when you're like, dude, I'm about ready to watch some Temple of Doom. And you find it because nothing was ever organized. You find it in your movies or the drawers. And then you pull it out of sleeve. You're like, fuck, I didn't rewind it last time I watched it. So then you got to rewind it. Just, I don't know. There's something about all that I kind of miss, as inconvenient as it all was. Is that weird?
Yeah, it totally. Yeah, it totally was. It's like, I remember, like when people, like when you'd walk into the video store, you'd hear, because working there, you'd have like 8 rewinders going all at one time on a Sunday night when everything's back, and all that. What's funny is, the stores I worked at, like when I started there, all still had the, be kind, please rewind stickers. But I remember when there were video stores that would charge you if you didn't rewind the tapes. And because I was always like, oh man, we got to rewind this, and but the stores I worked at never charged. But it's, I remember stores having that on a sign, behind the desk or whatever, that, you don't want. Yeah, basically, yeah. Like, here, I'm taking this tape back. Dad, no, it hasn't been rewound.
No.
As he's setting it into the return, you noticing it. No.
I remember my aunt had a rewinder that looked like a fucking Corvette, and I thought that was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, I remember when that was the thing. All the rewinders they had a bunch of different ones that were car-like, and other things probably too. But yeah.
I know.
We're old.
It's like, I've talked about a little bit here how I'm part of that stupid fucking Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest game. And I was in a Discord group. I was chatting a little bit today because someone was just like, oh man, it kind of reminds me of old cards. Or no, whatever event's going on has ATOGs. And I'm like, once upon a time, I used to collect ATOGs. I'm like, I still have them somewhere.
Yeah.
And they started talking about like Magic cards. And I'm like, you have no idea. You guys have no idea. I was playing before most of you were probably born. I had a game shop. They don't know that yet, but
worked at a game shop.
Owned one.
Actually, that reminds me of something. If I remember, I'm going to make a note of it here to talk to you about after we're done. It's not that listeners couldn't hear; they just won't give a shit.
That's half the shit we talk about.
This is even
not
outside
giving
of
a
that.
shit. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, this is just for you and I. So, yeah. So, all right. Well, let's do QoftheW here.
Well,
so last week we asked you, what's the worst Marvel character?
Apparently Instagram doesn't like any Marvel characters. We got, or maybe they love them. We didn't get anything on Instagram. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they love all Marvels. Yeah. Speaking of, before we get into that, real quick, one last thing.
Did
you watch Moon Knight?
I enjoyed the shit out of it. Yeah,
me too.
I don't know when the new episodes drop, so I turned it on today, hoping.
I believe it's Wednesday, if I'm not.
Yeah, I liked his variant of the suit.
Yeah, that's a great throwback to the comic because the newer series that a lot of this is based off of, that's a costume he wears in the comic.
Excellent.
Also, it's kind of cool if you notice, spoilers, when he's Steven wearing that, and when Mark takes over, he's in the
OG Moon Knight costume.
A little more like that, yeah. I mean, it's still a new design, but it's more like the comic booky one, the older comic book one, I should say, whatever. So I thought that was kind of because there's a lot of cinematography and stuff. I hope people pay attention to that when they show him. A lot of times in reflections, they will show multiple reflections, or you'll see a difference in the emotion or whatever, and that's reflecting that, he's more than one person, basically, or personality. Yeah. So definitely keep, if you're somebody who hasn't noticed that, go back and watch. There's some cool stuff that's done in, like in this newest episode, there's one where, Layla's looking in the fish tank and you can see Mark, but the way Steven is standing, it doesn't line up. Like it shouldn't, I don't think it's the same reflection. So it's so that he can talk to himself, basically. So anyway, good shit. Highly recommend it. And we're a third of the way through it because there's only 6 episodes.
Well, that makes me sad.
Yes. Agreed. Anyway, back to the QoftheW. So what's the worst Marvel character?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, Instagram, we got nothing. I was trying to pull some of these up for our visual. Cause some of these characters I don't even know that people answered with.
Yeah.
Jeff from Hobie, he's got a very very vague one. He just says random. I guess he doesn't like Marvel.
Or is there a character named Random in Marvel?
You know what? Let me look that up.
Look.
I mean, I doubt it.
I'm already on it. Yes.
Is there?
Random is a fictional character and anti-hero appearing in American comic books published by Marvel.
No shit.
Oh, dude, when you look it up, you'll remember the character.
Oh God.
He's X Factor.
Let me
yeah.
Go to Oh, I got it. I already have it pulled up. I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah. So I said, I'm not very familiar with it because I was never a big X Factor reader, but the character I 100% recommend. Remember.
See, here's me assuming that he just was like, yeah, Marvel sucks.
Yeah. Pick one. Yeah.
Kiki, she says, I'm torn between Asbestos Lady, which I got right here.
Okay.
And Hindsight Lad. Which
clearly a newer character.
Hindsight Lad looks like a real toolbox. He's got like motorcycle meters on his helmet and shit.
Oh wow,
it's
pretty terrible.
So she says both are painfully awful characters, but they would totally get in the bed of Ruby Thursday for some tentacle action, though. I don't know who Ruby Thursday is.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard of Ruby Tuesdays.
Salad bar.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I always got when I went there.
Let's see, Ruby Thursday. Her head is just a red orb with tentacles coming off it, but she does have a banging body.
Yeah, of course, you know. It's the two things you want, you know, a head with tentacles and a banging body.
That's what I'm talking about. And then Dev, he says, I'm going to Hobie that shit. Hashtag he did. Obscure character, Hindsight Lad. His power is literally saying how something should have been done after the fact.
That's pretty terrible. I mean, you can't.
2020. And then movies. The ties between Darwin and Cyclops. Darwin because Fox no-sold his power, and Cyclops because Fox made the stereotype of the whiny simp bitch. He has range and can be badass.
Okay, that's fair. That was why I said last week. Remember when I made the comment about Cyclops? That was like, I could totally see where people could say that because he's very much, you know, not written well a lot of times. He really is written to be a really shitty character a lot of times. That I honestly feel like at times it's just there to, like I said before, to just basically be, you know, in the way of Jean and Wolverine being together. You know?
And then he says his mainstream is Carnage. Hyper-violence for the sake of hyper-violence because of the success of hyper-violent indie titles in the 90s.
Yeah, I can live with that.
That's all I got on my end, though, my guy.
Oh, all right.
Thank you for, you know, Diamond Top fan, Dev, and I want to call her the Diamond Queen now, Kiki. She's very reliable in answering the QoftheW.
Coming through. That's right, man. Also, I gotta, before I fire what I have at you here. How did you not pull up the fact that you made pulled pork when you were talking about what you've done this week?
How was it in my notes? Son of a bitch!
Seriously,
it was delicious, by the way. I thought I fucked it up. I'll be honest. We went to Shipshewana on the road. I came back. My temp timer was going off. I was like, it went to temp way quicker. But then I dialed it all in, and it came out great. Apologies, I should have brought that up. I feel like I did a disservice to the pig that I sacrificed to the fire gods.
Yep. All right. So on Twitter, at BaseDaddy19, which is our friend of the show, Angry Oz, formerly known as Angry Oz, he says Miss Marvel, the new one, Squirrel Girl, America Chavez, or any of the Kibble Smith New Warriors recruits. Frankly, Marvel is basically a clogged toilet. There's so much choking the S-bend to work with until its title gets canceled, obviously. Which, there's a lot of characters that they've made that I'm not big fans of, you know, for sure. But I don't have a problem with most of that. Squirrel Girl, I never, like, I tried real hard to give it a go, especially the more recent one where they tried to, where it was, you know, very lighthearted and fun. And it just doesn't do anything for me, you know. So,
that's fair.
You know, but that's okay. You know, not everyone's made for everybody. So that's, you know, as we've talked before, I very much enjoy, I like the inclusivity that's going on in comics. So, because I like that everyone can feel like there's a book or something they can pick up and feel represented in. Maybe not everybody, but more than it used to be, where it was all just steroid white guys and big titty women. Which
big titty woman, right? Wait,
well, that's actually, I was just talking about
I'm in.
Yeah, of course. And tentacles. Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
You're right.
I mean, come on. Is this not? Oh, I see what happened there. Okay. So, and then over on, well, probably help if I actually had the damn thing pulled up like I thought I did. Son of a biscuit.
We now have that.
There we go. You know, Cheeto Bandito says 1990s Jubilee. He says, fuck that bitch. So, wow, you can throw some flares and firecrackers and basically serve the sole purpose of getting into trouble so that Wolverine can come rescue you and show off how invulnerable he is. Eat a dick, Jubes. I mean,
he's really not wrong. 1990s Jubilee. He says, fuck that bitch. So, wow, you can throw some flares and firecrackers and basically serve the sole purpose of getting into trouble so that Wolverine can come rescue you and show off how invulnerable he is. Eat a dick, Jubes.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I never cared for that, especially on the cartoon. I hated Jubilee. Like, there's always, whenever they make a cartoon or a TV show that they think kids are going to watch, they always are like, oh, we got to put like a kid in it so that they'll identify, right? That was my big problem when Star Wars Rebels came out, and they had Ezra, and I'm like, oh man, like, do we need this? Do we need a kid Jedi? Yeah, actually we did. It was an awesome show, and that character was actually pretty good. But you know what I'm saying? They do that all the time, to where they'll take something that doesn't need a kid and they're like, oh, we got to shoehorn a kid into it so that it's identifiable for children. And it's like, no, you don't.
You don't,
like,
though.
It's like, yo, I growed up on, like, I mean, the most annoying thing on Thundercats were the twins and Snarf.
God.
I mean, it's Snarf, then a mile down the twins, and then many miles down for the next.
But they could have all been easily holding hands and got ran over by the Thunder Tank. It would have been the best episode ever.
I would have 100% agreed with you,
Oh, God, and Snarf was in the engine bay when we fired it up.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Exactly. It was just like
yeah. Who's up for Snarf burgers?
Shit, it means I got to take it to the wash and get the chassis spray down.
Yeah, the next scene is just Panthro hosing down the engine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like Lion-O, I got all this out, but the smell. That burnt fur.
Lion-O just hanging up black ice trees on the Thunder Tank.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you on that, Cheeto. I hated Jubilee in like the X-Men cartoon especially, and in the books too. I never cared for the character. Like, I think later they expanded her powers a little more to where she wasn't just basically Dazzler, right. Even though at least Dazzler was a cool disco like icon, so she at least had something else going for her.
Jubilee's handy. The 4th of July picnic, when you run out of fireworks, you're like, all right, stupid, do your thing. Do your weird muty power.
Yeah, she was kind of a walking sparkler,
Like, no one cares.
Yeah, it wasn't real. Yeah, it's like, unless she blinded, a villain, it just didn't seem to do much for the most part. And he's right. They used it as a lazy plot device a lot. All the villain would need is
some wraparound Oakleys, and he's safe.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I wore my safety goggles. Like, damn you. Then Wolverine shanks him, Snick, snickety snick.
Yeah. Wraparound Oakleys and Zubaz won't save you from these.
Right. Call me Wolverine. So yeah, that's pretty terrible. So all right, so that's the
we do have the unofficially entered Punisher answer by our buddy Garrett too.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That was in our group, and although the Punisher is obviously a character you and I read a lot of as children's, especially as an adult, it's really hard to get into the Punisher books. For like, when I've tried to read the more recent Punishers, which are probably better written, but it ends up just being an action movie essentially in a comic book, which isn't terrible, but it's also like,
all right, it's been done.
How many times can this dude do this with no superpowers? At least Batman's got like armor and his discipline and all that, I guess. But the Punisher's been like a demon. Was it Dev brought up that he actually like went through and had blackface for a while? Oh, God, I didn't either. And when I looked it up, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that. So, it's like, geez. And now, obviously with being aligned with, I don't understand how a character that's a vigilante and kills people, I don't understand how that became like the logo of him became the beacon for, groups out there, but they have.
I don't know.
So
it's probably because, it is a badass logo.
It is.
And when you boil it down, the skull has always been cool looking.
Yeah. Yep.
But as we've covered this before in a past podcast, so there's no reason to rehash it. But yeah.
Right. But yeah, so it's like I can't fault, like, really, you can't fault anyone's reasons for these. That's why I was like, it doesn't even have to be like the actual worst character. It's just like, who do you think is the worst character? Because there's just ones, you know how it is, like whatever, like every lineup of X-Men, there's probably one that you're like, oh, I hate that character, or the Avengers, or what, your JLA, you know, I mean Aquaman, but you know,
well, yeah, of course.
Maybe not. They might be looking at Martian Manhunter or something, you know. I don't know.
Martian Manhunter's badass. Leave it.
He's pretty awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I didn't pull up my list.
Oh, I got you. I added a couple to mine actually.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's do that then.
Let me pull it up real quick. Well, all right. By a couple, I added 2. I got 3.
Well, you said you added a couple. That's
fair.
You're accurate. Yeah.
So you got 1, 2, or 3, Brian?
Let's go with 2.
Let's go with 2. This is blatantly stolen off of Reddit. I'm just going to let everyone know.
Oh, almost all the ones I have are 2.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So, what is a company catchphrase that can be said during sex?
Right.
Yeah, I know the first one popped in my head immediately when I read this.
Loving from
eat fresh.
Oh. I mean, that's important.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something that has to do with like, yeah, that's pretty good, because the first thing, like before you got to sex, the first one that popped into my head was it Charmin in there? I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's something with the like down there care that they're pushing now. It's like just a weird.
I'm not a fan of the old bears shitting in the woods ad campaign.
Yeah, it's pretty strange.
I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty strange. Let me think. Man. I don't know, man. I can't. I was trying to think of, you know.
I mean, you got
something
like Burger King, have it your way.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, you know, Home of the Whopper is one that, you know, probably is.
Good one.
Hey,
you know, fucking Home of the Whopper. Oh,
yeah. Dude,
$5 hot and ready.
That's probably mine. Yeah. Like what? Like, hey, let's go, $5. I'm hot and ready. Like, wait, the $5 is what's confusing me. The hot and ready I'm okay with, but the $5, like, this isn't supposed to be prostitution.
I mean, what about fucking Alka-Seltzer? Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. I don't even know what that means.
Well, yeah, you do, especially if a glass table's involved, maybe. But... or a tart. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's another old callback, a piss tarp.
The old piss tarp.
The old piss tarp. Yep. Oh man.
Good times.
Yep.
Good times had by all.
I like the plop plop fizz fizz one. That's I just like the confusion in that, because it'd be like, whoa, wait, what? Whoa, what are we doing?
What's
here?
happening?
Like, time out. So we're gonna go with that one.
There
yeah.
You go. Plop plop
like
fizz
that.
fizz.
Plop plop fizz fizz. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I guess so. Yeah. What's a company catchphrase that could be said during sex?
Show me what you got.
Oh, I got a fucking heat stroke up in his mug.
Nice. Hot.
So hot.
All right. So one last thing here before we jump into the other thing.
Yes,
here.
sir. What you got?
Which was, I threw out, you know, like, hey, we're gonna record. You know, ask us questions.
Oh.
And previously mentioned, Base Daddy 19 said, what do you think the future of Twitter is as a platform?
Oh.
And it's interesting because the reason I jumped to Twitter when I did was I hated Facebook. And Twitter always felt like the edgy version of social media. Like you could kind of say a little more what you wanted to. It was about jokes, but there was also a lot of, like, I remember us talking on the podcast about how news was breaking on Twitter.
Right.
Like that's where people got news. And I don't know if that's the case anymore. you know, because I don't know if TikTok, because I don't use TikTok, I don't know if people there are a lot of news TikToks.
Yeah, for sure.
So a lot of young people probably
news talk is definitely a thing.
Right. So I don't know. At the time, for a long time, Twitter was where you would see things break on Twitter first before you would see it anywhere else.
Right.
I don't know that that's the case anymore. I don't feel it is. It's where I still see a lot of stuff first because it's still the one I'm on the most.
Right.
But all that means is it's the one I'm on the most. You know, it doesn't mean anything other than that. It's interesting the run that it's been on, but I definitely feel like Twitter's on the decline.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel like Twitter's on the rise right now.
I mean, as someone who, the only reason I go on Twitter is for our little group chat we have.
Yeah.
I don't use it for anything else anymore. It's
been such, like I said, for a long time, there was a lot of jokes and fun and all that. And there's still a lot of people, I still write shit and throw it out there. A lot of people do, but most of it, unless you get real lucky and it gets a viral pickup or something like that, a lot of people don't get the likes and stuff that they used to get on that stuff. And a lot of the people who used to be funny have switched to just tweeting politics stuff. And, you know, there's been a lot of people and a lot of vitriol on Twitter that it got to where for a while now, it feels almost more and more like it's the way we used to refer to the YouTube comment section.
I see.
So yeah, there's some good stuff in there, but you got to really scroll to find the good stuff sometimes. You know, like on my own feed when I'm scrolling through it, I scroll past so much stuff and then, oh, here's a gem. Whereas before it was just like boom, boom, boom. Like when I would retweet, there were times where people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe how much you retweet. But it was like, I'm like, this is funny. Right. You know, now I'm more like scroll through 10 things, scroll through 10 more. Oh, here's something funny, you know, and it's more like that.
I mean, I kind of feel like social media is angling to more of a like audio video.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you're right. I do feel like it's moving more and more that way, which I hate because I really don't like being on video.
I mean, to be fair, Brian, you don't have to.
True.
You can always voice over shit or have, you know, the big thing now is the closed captioning that reads the captions you write down.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So, I mean, you really don't have to anymore.
Right. Yeah. But that's my thing is it's like I'm not real huge on Instagram because I don't love taking pictures. I don't go do a lot, so I don't really have anything to take pictures of. I'm not going to post selfies all the time, you know, like I could.
Duck face.
Yeah, you know, it's like really if you look at my Instagram, it's pretty much just this show's logo and the Crazy Life logo, and then there's a picture every once in a while. It's more just me promoting the two shows, and honestly, I might even quit with that because I looked at the interactions on it, and it's probably not even worth it. We
need more pictures of food, Brian.
Yeah,
Everyone
real quick,
pictures of food.
So one last, well, you know, I got to start going to some places where you know there's some picture-worthy food.
Home cooking, bro.
Oh, that too. Yeah, I guess I should do that more. Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. So speaking of you know, interactions and whatnot, if you're on the TikToks, please hit us up on TikTok so eventually we can go live on TikTok.
Yeah, that would be fun to do.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can't, because you have to have, what is that, 1,000?
1,000, and we don't have that.
Yeah, I don't know where we're at.
I can find out real quick.
I know we're short of it, but I don't know where because I don't know how to look at that stuff.
Let's see here. Let me find out real quick.
Because I don't have the TikToks.
We're at, I feel like I just won a jackpot. We're at 777.
Oh, all right.
So we're definitely a wee bit short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need some help. So yeah, if you're on TikTok, you know, get other people. Like we said before, we don't care if there's a way to mute us. If you just mute us immediately, we just need some people following us.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we really don't care.
Exactly.
I mean, we do. We prefer to have people who actually engage, but you know.
Engagement is also fun.
Yeah. So all right. So there you go. Well, actually, I don't know how we're gonna do this.
We're doing something a little new this time.
Okay.
Right. Because we do have people that sponsors on Patreon.
Yeah.
And we got to make them feel special.
Right.
So I'm not sure what you have set aside, but I have set aside, I'm just going to read the headline because that's what caught my eye.
Okay.
That this woman is accused of killing cyclists. Said she was uncontrollably defecating.
Yes, I have that one set aside as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm glad we both have that one set aside.
Right.
But if you want to hear what we're talking about here, you're going to have to go to our Patreon. And you can donate $1, you can donate $2, you can donate $100. Doesn't matter.
Right. Right.
We just, if you want to hear, what I'm saying is, I think every week we're going to put up like 15, 20, 30 minutes on Patreon. And if you want to hear it, you're just going to have to go to Patreon. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Because it'll help us out to pay the hosting fees. And also, we're working on some aging equipment here that at any time we could,
could easily shit the bed at any time.
Yeah, I mean, really, any of it could
defecate the bed.
No matter the age, but especially the, like our boards and a couple things that we've been working with here for quite a while. So
about 10 years, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Still alive.
Yeah.
And
And like
and
Tony.
well.
Yeah. And like Tony said, even if it's just $1 or whatever, we appreciate it. And thanks to those who already support the show. And yeah. All right. So I guess with that, head on over to saltylanguage.com. Check out all the past episodes. Check out the enthusiast episodes, which we really should figure out a way to get some more of those. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done that. Yeah, so check out all that kind of stuff. You can find the link to the network that we're part of. Tangentbound Network, which can be found at tangentboundnetwork.com. So please go check out the other shows there. If you're looking to start your own show, head over there and talk to them about that, because they can, maybe help you out a little bit. Maybe, the biggest thing with like starting these podcasts, the best part about asking somebody else is maybe so you can avoid some of the stuff. Like more, like I heard William Regal talking about this on a podcast, that he doesn't help wrestlers. He doesn't tell them what to do. He tells you what not to do.
That's a good call.
And I like that concept, because that's the truth. Is who knows what to do with this shit? It's really throwing shit at a wall. But there are certain things that not doing them can, help you. Like, don't overspend on your equipment and all that kind of stuff before you even know if you're going to do 20 episodes. So anyway, and if you talk to Mark, tell him Tony misses him.
XOXO, baby.
Yeah, and Tony's sad that he wouldn't, they can't do a Jeep Wave.
I am. I'm just kind of bummed about that, especially because I'm going to be driving it more for a little bit.
That's right. And then if you want to reach out to us on social media, we've talked about it a little bit. It's on saltylanguage.com, of course. But also, if you want to reach out to us on Twitter, it's at salty_language. You can find me. While Twitter's still around, yeah. Until I decide it's over. No. Or apparently until Elon Musk decides it's over, whichever.
So sick of hearing
Elon
Musk. Yeah.
Me too. But you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stunami.
You can find me on Instagram at The Monotony. And Salty Language, we already talked about. It's on TikTok at Salty Language. I guess you could find me on twitch.tv/DamnDirtyApe. Now that I'm back on PS Plus. This is the problem, Brian. As I started a Twitch channel, just as it was getting nice out. And my video game playing goes way down when it gets nice out.
You know what? You got to figure out some way of broadcasting while you're on like your Switch or something. So you can sit outside, play the Switch,
that's not a bad move.
And still broadcast. I don't know how, but I'm just...
But
anyway, moving on.
But yeah, saltylanguage.com really for all the links. And Patreon, I don't have it on our plugs on our video because I'm a fucking casual like we were talking about earlier.
It is in the show notes.
But Salty Language on Patreon if you want to start checking out our other content we'll be putting up. And I think that's all I got, Brian.
All right. So I guess until next time, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Oh shit! I forgot to pull the fucking fortune.
Oh my goodness!
Stay salty, of course. And once this loads, a kiss can beautify souls, hearts, and thoughts. With your dick out. I guess.
I guess.
That's pretty weird.
It is.